Marina, from what I understood earlier, you've been trying to increase your physical activity.
Yes, I've been trying to increase my physical activity levels now for quite a while. It's kind of always been on my mind, and it's one of those things that you know you should do, but you don't do because of reasons. But for me, anyway, it's important because my family has a history of heart diseases, well, cardiovascular diseases. So I really wish that I could just avoid that. And the way to do that, I think, is through a healthy diet and through exercising. So that's why I wish to increase my physical activity levels.
Okay, great. So health is important to you.
Yes, it is, because if you're not healthy, then you're not going to live a good life, and you're not going to want to do things that you want to do.
How's that going to affect you? Let's say if you didn't change anything at all, if you didn't increase your activity now.
Well, it would it it would upset me, obviously. I'd be quite disappointed in myself because I know I can do it, but it's just a matter of kind of finding that motivation to do it.
So you're struggling to find the motivation at the moment, but
Yeah.
you're very keen to make a change.
Yeah, I really do want to. It's just the lack of motivation.
Okay.
Yeah, is a problem.
Good. But if you think about it a bit more about increasing your physical activity, what good things would happen if you did that?
Well, I'd feel so happy. I'd feel really proud of myself that I actually, managed to exercise more. But I'd feel healthier and just kind of more energetic, and I want to do other stuff, outside.
So it would translate to other areas of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Sense of achievement.
Yes, exactly. That is, I'd feel achieved. Yeah, because I think it is a hard thing to do, for me anyway. And if I achieved that, then I'd be very proud of myself.
Do you like doing an imagery exercise just based on one of those positive things that will get better once you let's say you achieved it, you've upped your activity?
Okay, yeah.
Do you mind? So
Yeah.
if you go into imagery mode, then I can read you through the exercise.
Okay.
Please try to imagine a year into the future. Imagine that you've somehow managed to increase your physical activity for an entire year now. Try to imagine what that future would look like for you. What do you look like? What are you doing? How are you feeling? And how are things different? Spend a little time just embellishing that future image. Sorry to bring you back. How did that feel?
It felt really good, actually.
What part did you enjoy the most?
I enjoyed kind of comparing how I would be compared to now, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like I imagine myself being quite active and energetic and just kind of up for anything.
Okay, so that's what was really good about it.
Yeah, it felt really nice, and I didn't feel sluggish, which is a feeling I really hate. It's just can't be bothered to do anything. So yeah, it was good.
More energy.
Yeah, more energy and just more just active for anything. Yeah.
Shall we think about how we can actually make it a bit more concrete, that end goal of yours, of getting to that energetic place where you're up to anything? Now, I believe you haven't told me any specifics yet of how you were going to achieve getting more active. Is there anything that you have in mind that you could get started with and like to focus on today?
Yeah, so I mean there's a couple of things that I could do to get started. The first is scheduling when I'd exercise, so deciding what days I'd go, how many days I would go, and I'd probably end up going to the gym as well.
So let's work on what you're actually going to do first, if you don't mind, and then we can talk about some strategies in a bit, if that's all right.
Okay.
So you just mentioned the gym to me.
Yes.
Are you a member of a gym? Or?
I am. I have a membership to the gym.
Okay.
But I don't really go at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the membership's just the gym and also classes. So
okay, great.
They do various classes which I could, do.
So that's something that you would want to get started.
Yeah, just to vary the exercising a bit, so it's not like the same thing over and over again.
Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do once you get back into the swing of things, so that you stay interested.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Should we do an imagery exercise just based on what steps you need to take to actually get yourself back to the gym?
Yeah.
And actually pursuing those classes and those changes in your activities there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you go back into imagery mode, then I'll read you through the exercise. Think about a particular time in the next few days and think of you getting started with working on your goal. Play it out like you're the main character in your own mini-movie. Thinking about those first few days of getting started, think about each step that you have to take. The steps leading up to you doing the change, making the change. How it feels as you are doing it. And then how you feel afterwards. How your body feels afterwards. But also how you feel within yourself emotionally. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Bring your attention back to one of the images and keep playing it through. Keep playing one of those images through to later on that day or night. You've managed to go through all the steps that you need to take successfully and you've worked on your goal. Focus on how you feel about that. Imagine how good you will feel. See those first initial effects. Now, once more, please imagine further into the future. When you've been working on your goal for maybe a few months or even a year. Think of a particular occasion like a holiday or an upcoming birthday party and create that scene in your imagination. Imagine who's there, or if you're on your own, what you can see around you and what you can hear around you. Imagine how your body feels, maybe even what clothes you'll be wearing at that occasion. Remember to use all your senses and make it as vivid as you possibly can. And most importantly, notice that those things that you thought would get better got better now. Tell me how all that feels.
It was good. I really enjoyed the last bit of that.
Okay, tell me a bit more about that.
So I was imagining an event that is actually coming up, and that's
great.
My cousin's wedding.
Okay.
And so I was imagining being there surrounded by family and friends, which I haven't actually seen in years. So, and they noticed how much kind of I changed in terms physically, because I imagine I'd lose some weight, and so everyone was kind of appreciating that, and
they were giving you confidence.
Yeah, and it just I felt quite confident and just
sense of achievement again.
Yeah, it was that, and as if everything I'm doing is actually worth it. Yeah. Okay. So it felt good. Yeah.
Great. Sounds really good. And if you had to put a number on the vividness of the images that you had, let's say 0 meaning no image at all, and 10 meaning almost lifelike, how clear was the imagery that you were practicing just now?
it was about 7.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So quite vivid already.
Yeah, it was quite vivid. It was good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It will become clearer and clearer the more you practice, of course.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. And thinking about those first steps that you had to take, how confident are you after imagining doing that now that you could do that for a week or 2 weeks?
Maybe 60?
Okay, so that's fairly confident already.
Yeah.
And we'll be thinking about a few things that we can do to make sure that you gain even more confidence and that the imagery becomes clearer.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I would like to know if you've ever tried to do something like this in the past.
Yes, I've about 2 years ago I tried to increase my exercise levels.
Okay. Tell me about
and so it worked. So I did. I
Okay,
went
great.
up to 4 times a
Yeah.
week. And it felt quite
4 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
It is, but it didn't feel like a lot at the time when I was doing it, because I was quite enjoying it.
Great.
I got into the
Okay.
swing of things, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a burden.
Okay. So you had a routine.
Yeah. So I had a routine, and it worked really well for the time. For my schedule back then. So I think, I also went with a friend.
Okay, great.
So we both motivated each other.
So you had a friend with you, you motivated each other, social support, and you had a routine that you established, and that made it easier to stick to it. And you enjoyed it, which is the main part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you mind taking yourself back to one of those positive success moments when you are both working out at the gym and enjoying it, and just play through that day when you went, and just see if you notice anything else that you might have done that could be used maybe even now to help you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read you through the imagery exercise if you don't mind. Take yourself back to that time when you successfully achieved your gym goal. You increased your physical activity. You're working out with your friend, comfortable in your routine. Play that memory out as if you're living it again. Remember how you felt when you did that. Make it as vivid as you can. Please tell me how that felt, Marina.
It was good. It was nice to go back and see what kind of things I did.
Yeah.
I think one thing I noticed that I did was that in the morning I used to pack my gym bag.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I used to take it with me to work, so
that just popped up now in your imagination. Okay.
So I just kind of go straight from work to the gym.
Okay.
I think that helped for the times where I felt that I couldn't be bothered to go, or I was tired. I just kind of wanted to go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something that could help you now? Something along the lines of that idea?
Yeah, because now my schedule is much more, it's busier than it used to be.
Okay.
So, I'm more likely to feel tired and sluggish, and therefore more likely to just bail on the gym. But if I've got my stuff there, then I might as well just go, because
being prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
Planning.
Yeah, and also wanting to have a routine. So I want to have a routine. I want to do it, and just having this stuff there is just an extra bonus. I don't have to go out of my way. It's just there.
It's also helpful, just in case your friend cancels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Something to fall back onto.
Yeah.
Great. Before we do an exercise based on that idea that you just told me about, to see if it could be useful, using it now to establish your routine, especially if your friend cancels, etc. I'd like to emphasize that imagery will work best, and you harness the most motivation from it the more you practice it. So practicing it every day, I would highly recommend. And so that you don't forget, people find it easy to practice it alongside a routine behavior, something that they do daily, that will trigger their imagery practice. going through their steps in their mind and practicing that end goal. Is there anything that you can think of that you do on a daily basis that you might find it easy to practice alongside of?
I tend to drink a lot of tea and coffee throughout the day. So I could maybe do the imagery then.
Yeah, okay. And you'll be on your own where you're doing that sometimes?
Yeah,
Some of the time?
Yeah, because most of the times I make like drinks for everyone at work, so I might have 3 or 4 cups of teas to make, so that takes a while. So.
Yeah, and the imagery doesn't take very long to do, as you've noticed now, so doing it at those times might be quite helpful for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. When I read you through the last exercise, can we do a task alongside of it, just so that you get into the habit of doing it alongside another task and see how it feels? It might feel a little different.
Okay.
But it'll get better and better with
All
practice.
right, yeah.
So what I would like you to do is, before I start reading you through the exercise, I'll tell you quickly. What I want you to do is walk around the table and go over to that shelf over there and either grab the bottle of water or pour yourself a glass of water or what have you, and then walk back over here, sit down, and while you're doing that, I'd like you to go through all your steps using the idea that we talked about, and then practicing your end goal of that sense of achievement again.
Okay.
Are you ready for the exercise?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. I want you to roll out that private movie you've created in your mind as vividly as you can. Go through all the steps you will take to work on your goal and to establish your new routine. Make use of the ideas that you told me about so that it really happens. And then imagine how good it will feel to succeed. How was that for you?
It was weird.
Okay, tell me.
It just didn't felt as vivid as the other imagery exercises we did. I think that's because I have to kind of multitask.
Of course, yes. And that'll come with practice.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to keep practicing alongside another task.
Okay.
It will become more clear and vivid. Good. Okay, so do you want to tell me what you plan to do now?
So I plan to decide what days I'm going to go to the gym.
Okay, so you've got a plan.
Yeah, plan. I'm also going to pack my bag, the gym bag, and make sure it's with me. And call my friend and see if they're free, and if they want to join me. If not, I'll still go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're prepared.
Yeah.
You have the mindset to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel quite motivated to do it.
That's great.
Okay.
So you're quite confident.
Yeah.
How confident would you say are you now, if 0 means no confidence and 100% means definitely going to do it?
About 80.
Okay, so
80,
that's pretty confident.
Yeah.
Hopefully once you've done it a few times, you'll then actually, your confidence will go to 100%.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
It sounds like you've got a really good plan, so I wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best with getting started with it, and I will follow this up and go and call you next week.
Okay.
Okay, and see how you got on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.